What's going on, guys? I am buzzing 4-1. Great performance. A lot of positives, A brace for Paul Pogba. All the Pogba haters, custard pie everywhere. I told you guys, if you follow me on Twitter, I am going to talk the most shit when Pogba turns it around. So I'm loving this right now. Got a goal for Marcus Rashford, who was very close, very close to being man of the match behind Paul Pogba. Immense performance. And Lukaku got a goal. And I'm buzzing for Lukaku. Don't get it twisted. I think he's a very limited player. He's not Manchester United number 9 quality, but he's one of ours, innit? And whenever he's on the pitch, I want him to do well. I want him to score goals. A lot of people are saying, oh, Rants, you're going to eat your words and that. I really want Lukaku to do well. I just don't think he's good enough. And I think we saw, even for his goal, the first touch header up into no man's land, then he was lucky enough that he came back to us, and then Pogba's played him through with a beautiful pass. And even the finish, he made it look difficult, man. He just looks very uncomfortable, but the guy scores goals, innit? So, as a super sub, more than happy to see him in the team, but I don't want to see him starting ahead of Marcus Rashford. Alright, guys, on to the style of play. And Ollie Ball, the antivirus, is in effect, man. I'm loving it. Fullbacks pushing forward. Pushing their fullbacks back. We just kept pressure, wave after wave of pressure. Ashley Young got caught offside. Like this time, 2 weeks ago, Ashley Young wouldn't cross the halfway line. So, remember what I said about Valencia in my last video? About under Ollie, would he become a better right back because he'll actually go forward instead of cutting back? I think we're seeing that the manager has given these guys clear instructions to go forward. And it's beautiful, man. Like, this is the United we love. This is the United we know. And I'm not getting too carried away, but if we put this level of performance in against some of the better teams, I think a lot of fans are going to really want Ollie to stay, bruv. Like, I said it, I don't want Ollie to stay. I want him to come, do a short stint, leave with the hero that he came in. I don't want familiarity to breed contempt with him, you know? Like, I don't want him to have a great spell, then he gets the job, then next season things go downhill, and then he ends up getting sacked and leaves on bad terms. I don't want that for the guy because he's a club legend, man. Do you know what I mean? But honestly, if he keeps us playing like this, I think he deserves the job. We were direct, we were fluid, aggressive, positive, everything that I've associated with Manchester United, man. Like, this was beautiful to watch. Absolutely beautiful. I think an unsung hero of the day today was Jesse Lingard. I think in the shape that we play, the style that we play, Jesse's relentless running and work rate and pressing is invaluable right now, because going forward, productive-wise, he didn't have a great game. Like, there was a few times he underhit passes to Rashford, who also worked his socks off. There are a few times where the ball coming short, Rashford didn't make it, but then he's bombed forward and he's put it out for a throw-in and he's pressed high and we've won the ball high up the pitch. That never happened under Jose. But you see Jesse, work. Wins the ball, gives it simple. Makes the second run, makes the third run. And when we've got two attackers like Rashford and Martial, who always want to get in behind and score goals, it's good to have someone like Jesse to balance it out and to do the dirty work, you know? Like, don't get me wrong, Rashford's a willing runner, but Jesse just doesn't stop. So I think even though he wasn't as productive going forward, I think a lot of the work he did off the ball and does off the ball goes unnoticed by a lot of fans. Also, if you're a match-going fan as well, and this is not alienated anyone, you see the work that he does off the ball that you don't see in games, man, because obviously the camera tracks the ball. Having gone to Old Trafford many times, and my seat is right by the dugout on the wing, so I get to see a lot of the running that Jesse does off the ball, and the guy is one of the most unselfish players you'll ever see. That's why I respect him. I think he's technically underrated. His one-touch game is brilliant. His football brain is brilliant. His movement's brilliant. But more than anything, that guy does not stop running. Like, he gives people all kinds of problems. All right, guys, now let's talk about the goals. Listen, yeah. Paul Pogba's first goal. Marcus Rashford sent that guy for a Daily Mail and a sausage roll, fam. Like, I'm telling you. Flip-flap, come inside, great ball in. Two things. Marcus Rashford does not have the confidence to do that under Jose Mourinho. He wasn't running at players doing flip-flaps, trying things, playing with that freedom. He looked like a kid in the playground today. That's all down to the manager. So a lot of people can say Pogba stepped it up since Jose's left, but I think we've seen an improvement in every single player. There's not one player under Oli that's playing worse. There's not. Paul Pogba, right place, right time. I said it to you guys, he's a number 8. He's a number 8. You see the way Frank Lampard was popping up and scoring all them goals? If Paul Pogba has the freedom that Frank Lampard was given in that Chelsea system, he'll score more goals than Frank. He will. Because he's got that height as well. You see him for the second goal. Leapt like a salmon, great header. Paul Pogba can do that. He can shoot with both feet. He can make them runs and arrive late. And he's got the legs to go back. He was winning the ball on the edge of our box and getting into the opposing area and getting on the end of things. The guy's the best midfielder in the world under an attacking manager. There's no midfield player in the game now that has his athleticism, his touch, his finesse, his weight of pass, his ability to strike the ball, and his ability to head the ball. There's no other player in the game that has all of those things. And if you can name me one, then fair enough, leave it in the comments, but there isn't one. Rashi on the score sheet, Anthony Martial, bro. Like, menace. Another assist for the guy. He is still on paper our most productive attacking player. He either scores and assists every 90 minutes. It might even be less than that. Scores or assists every 90 minutes. Great ball, and he popped up on the right-hand side this time, guys. And he started on the left. So you see the fluidity and just the movement up front. Jesse was popping up as the striker a lot of the time. Marcus was dropping into this little hole. And Martial was just doing whatever the hell he wanted. And it was beautiful to watch. Nice ball outside of the foot. Mr. Whippy, little swaz. Do you know what I mean? And Marcus has popped up with a nice little poacher's goal, bruv. And like, absolutely buzzing. And obviously, Big Rom got on the score sheet. Happy for the guy. As I was saying on Twitter, you guys make sure you follow the Twitter as well. I'm going to put the links for all the socials in the description. But Lukaku, we need him confident, innit? Like, whether I rate the guy or not, he's a Manchester United player. And if we are going to push for this 4th spot, because realistically, I think that's the only spot available, we need all our players confident and we need them scoring goals. We need them to buy into the philosophy of the manager. So as it stands, I'm super buzzing for Rom. I don't want to see him starting ahead of Lukaku, ahead of Rashford or any of them, because I don't believe he's good enough. I don't believe he suits the intricate link-up play that we want to do. But with Pogba closer to the front now, I think he'll get a lot more chances in this system and he'll definitely score goals. So I'm happy for the lad. Key things I think that stood out for me today. Eric Bailly gets sent off. What do? We keep attacking. That's the manager. After Bournemouth scored that Nathan Ake goal at 3-1, under Jose, we parked the bus, we set up shop. Fellaini probably comes on. What do? We bring on Andreas Herrera. That is the difference, man. Like, Oli is a positive manager. This is all we've ever wanted. And as I said, there's going to be a lot of pressure from fans to keep this guy on if the results stay the same against the bigger teams. And as much as I want Pochettino or Zidane, because I believe that they're the managers we need, if Oli keeps doing this with Mickey Phelan, flipping hell, man. Like, I have to get on board, man. You can't argue with it, because this is exactly what we wanted the whole time. Individual standout performances for me, I have to say Ander Herrera, unsung hero, bruv. Like, he's an absolute shithouse. If you remember the first season under Jose Mourinho, people were screaming for him to get the captain's armband. He was immense. And then what happened? Jose got Matic in and bombed Herrera out. And I think man management is Jose's biggest weakness, and he showed that under Ander Herrera. Luckily, he loves the club and he keeps fighting for us, and his attitude hasn't changed, his head hasn't dropped. The guy was immense today. He covered every blade of grass, he was popping up in the opposing area, winning tackles, doing everything. Like, the guy's an absolute shithouse, bruv. Like, he'll kick his nan if there's 3 points on the line. And I fucking rate it highly, man. I've got a lot of respect for him. I think that if we get a proper ball-playing midfield player instead of the Matic in there, Even, bruv, even Andreas, Herrera and Pogba, I'd like to see that and see how that works. But under Herrera, guys, if you're not clocking, top player. And like I've said before, Marcus Rashford ran his socks off. Movement was A1. Deserved the goal. And I just think that he offers so much in that role, man. I'd love to see Alexis come into that front three as well instead of Jesse Lingard, because he can offer the work rate and he adds that little bit more quality. But Marcus Rashford, bro, like pressing from the front, dropping off, one-touch play, spinning off, beating players. Like, he very rarely goes backwards. He always tries to stretch teams, man. And I think that's what we need. As I said, he would have probably been man of the match if Paul Pogba wasn't absolutely oozing. And last but not least, my guy, PP, my captain, love him. Jose said, yeah, Pogba's not a leader, stripped the armband of him. What a load of bollocks that was. Paul Pogba is a leader. That's 4 goals and 4 assists in the last 3 games. That's 2 goals and 1 assist this match, and created several chances. The ball that he played through, he played Rashford through 1-on-1 and Rashford missed. The keeper saved it. That's what I said about Marcus, about the touch of the nannies, and that he'll do some good things and he'll do some not so good things, but I don't give a shit. Like, I'm willing to back Marcus Rashford to improve and just become our number 9 for the simple fact that he has everything else. Do you know what I mean? Rooney missed chances. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is, man. Players are going to miss chances. But if we keep creating for Marcus, he's going to score. So in this system, I don't think we need an out-and-out striker. I'm happy with the fluid front 3. But Pogba. Passes, tackles, assists, headers, you name it. The guy has everything. Everything. And that's why I've always backed him, because I know what he can do. A lot of people didn't watch Pogba in Italy. They don't know who he is. They just seen a few YouTube clips and then they've heard what Mourinho's saying about him. And everyone's like, oh, but why doesn't he run the midfield? That's not who Paul Pogba is. If you let Paul Pogba be Paul Pogba, he's one of the best players in the world. Facts. We saw it in the World Cup final, him playing in a different position, sacrificing himself for the team. But Paul Pogba needs to be up. He needs to be the pivot between the midfield and the attack. This is where he does his most damage. So if we keep seeing Paul Pogba there, I think you're going to see him score a lot of goals this season and get a lot of assists, break a lot of records and do a lot of numbers. The guy is an absolute magician. So, boy, anyone that was bashing Pogba, you're pissed, innit? Because this is only the beginning. All right, guys, so leave your comments, man. Let me know what your highlights of the game were. Any standout players that you think that maybe I missed. I'm not so sure. I think Bailly was having a good game before he turned Mortal Kombat and that. But nah, I'm still a big fan of Eric Bailly. But let me know, yeah, what players did I miss out? Is there any little things that you noticed in the game that maybe I didn't pick up on or I haven't mentioned in the video? Let me know, man. Who were your standout performers? And yeah, would you reckon Ole Solskjaer for the full-time job? I still think it's too early. We shouldn't get carried away, but let me know your opinions, guys. And also, all the social media links will be in the description, guys. Make sure you add them up. Make sure you add up the Instagram. I'm active on there. Add up the Twitter. I'm active on there, as you know. And if you're not subbed, make sure you fucking subscribe. Hit that like button, guys. Let's get the likes up there. Let's get the comments in the comment section. Let's keep it interactive. And I'll catch up with you guys soon.